Welcome back, guys. This is episode 2 of my Red Star Belgrade Football Manager 2017 series, and just thought I'd take this opportunity to go through the first team squad, show you the strengths and weaknesses, talk a wee bit about the players, how I think they'll be able to fit into the starting lineup, and my hopes and dreams for them for the future. So, without further ado, let's get started with the goalkeepers. Well, first up is experienced goalkeeper Damir Karimin. 30 games last season he played for us, having joined 2014 from the Ukrainian top league. He's a good all-round goalkeeper. He should be first choice this season. However, I wouldn't rule out any of the youngsters that we've got because we are going to try and concentrate on youth. Karimin at 31 might be seen as a little bit past it. Key stats to look at here: his kicking of 13, his reflexes of 13, and his command of area of 13. The only real weaknesses I can see in his game are throwing of 11, concentration of 11, and anticipation of 11. So, I mean, well, not bad. It's not fantastic, but we'll wait and see as to what happens to him. He's worth 350 grand, and he's contracted for another couple of years, so we'll wait and see. To only have 8 caps for Serbia isn't great for a 31-year-old, but then again, he's a decent goalkeeper who will, I'm no doubt, play an important part of this season. Next up is Filip Manilovic, young goalkeeper, 20 years old, potential to be excellent in my opinion. Since we're going down the youth route, this guy might well be first choice this season. We'll see how he gets on in the first few games of the campaign. He was out on loan to one of our feeder clubs in the division below last year. Vital, 28 games under his belt. He was 19 then, so obviously that's really, really good for his development. His key stats is aerial reach, his command of area, and communication. I think these are really key for this guy as we move forward. Things we're going to have to work on, probably throwing, kicking, and one-on-ones. I'm really not happy with some of them. I mean, sure, it's 11, etc., but that should be so much better, and it can be. I mean, 6'6", he's got the height attributes going on here, and I really think this guy could be one for the future. Aleksandar Lukovic is an experienced fullback, decent all-round stats, played in the top divisions in Italy and Russia. He can also play centre-back, which could be more likely for him this season, given his age and the fact his speed isn't up to much. He will be more likely to play as a backup, though. I can't really see him getting in from the start. His key stats probably heading, leadership, and tackling for me. And the weaknesses that he's got in his game: marking, work rate, and acceleration. I just don't think he's got what it takes, but he'll be an important squad player for us this year. Next up, we've got Milos Svetkovic, I think we'll go with. Average backup player, as far as I'm concerned, definitely one I'd consider letting go. No real standouts. Key stats though: stamina, work rate, and tackling, all look decent. Most technicals, however, are pretty poor. Decisions and vision also complete the trio. I'm really not convinced that this guy's going to be able to survive in our team much longer than his contract. Marko Petkovic, number 2, will probably be our starting right back this season. He loves to get forward, great sentimental stats for this level, and I would suggest this could be a great season for him. His key stats: leadership, determination, and pace. I really think this guy's got quite a lot to offer this season. Weaknesses: natural fitness isn't great, strength and decisions, but I feel overall he's probably our best fullback for the system that we've got, so really happy with him moving forward as right back. Mihailo Ristic is an exciting young fullback, loves to get forward, this boy, and such well-rounded attributes across all three, the technicals, the mentals, the physicals. I could see this guy getting a lot of game time this year for our team. His key stats, I'd say, probably determination, leadership, and stamina. His weaknesses, probably anticipation, strength, and positioning. But these are all things that can be worked on. He's only 20 years old. He's 6 foot, left back. He could well be a star in the making for us. And we complete the fullbacks with Stefan Milosevic, another exciting young fullback. I may well send him out on loan to get first team experience this year, because he probably won't get it with us. He can play all the way up the left hand side, which I'm delighted at. Gives us a lot of variety and good possibilities. 21 years old. As I say, he's got a lot of potential, I feel. I do like his player trait of gets forward whenever possible. I love that for a fullback. It's my type of fullback. Key stats: pace, stamina, and strength, which are all really, really important for a fullback these days. Weaknesses: determination, balance, and passing. I prefer them to be a little bit higher, but again, that's things that can be worked on in training. On to centre backs now, and the first up is Thomas Fibel. I think we'll go with Fibel. Strong centre back, French. A lot of standout key attributes. Definitely going to be a big player for us this season. Age of 30, probably won't have too many seasons with the club, but we'll utilise him as best we can while we've still got him. His key stats, in my opinion: strength, jumping, reaching, heading. Again, big, strong centre half. That's what you want. Weaknesses: probably concentration, pace, and passing. Again, not obviously concentration is really big, but pace and passing aren't as important for a centre half. So, not really worried about this guy, but should be good for the season ahead. Zoran Rendulic, vastly experienced centre half, in my opinion. Good all round attributes. I can see his physicals falling quite dramatically through the season, though, at 32 years old. These things normally happen in Football Manager, but we'll see what happens with that. He's definitely back up for the season, I think. He's very capable of coming in and plugging any gaps that we've got. Admittedly, we have only got 3 players that can play centre defence in our first team, but when you see the youth players, I think we're going to probably promote 1 or 2 of them to bulk out the squad a wee bit. Zoran's sort of key stats probably would be, for me, heading, jumping, reach, and leadership. Weaknesses: pace, decisions, and agility. None of which I can see getting much better, to be honest, over the course of the season, but you never know. So with that in mind, we'll just move on straight to defensive midfielders. First up in defensive midfield, probably our best defensive midfielder that we've got at the club, Mitchell Donald. Solid all-rounder without being particularly spectacular or anything, to be fair. He came through the Ajax Youth Academy, and we will look to probably utilise his talents for the coming few seasons. Getting 27 years old, sort of in the prime of his career, coming into the prime of his career, I'd like to see if we can keep him until maybe 30, 31, see where it goes from there. His key stats: probably strength, off the ball, and first touch. The weaknesses he's got: probably teamwork, natural fitness, and work rate. So hopefully we'll be able to capitalise on his strength throughout the season. Worth 425 grand, on a big wage, 3,200 a week, which is a big wage for Serbian football, but he's probably worth it long term, I would say. So we'll wait and see how he goes this season. More than likely going to be Donald's partner in crime in the midfield will be Damien Letalic. The Frenchman, undoubtedly a talent, 26 years old. He looks like he'll be able to run the midfield with Donald for a good few years yet. No real standout attributes, although heading 15 is a bonus. Key stats probably for his role: balance, off the ball, and work rate. Really happy with those. Weaknesses: probably strength, decisions, and composure. Could be better. However, I'd like to highlight the player trait here of arrives late in the opponent's area. A lot of people don't think that's a good thing for a defensive midfielder, but to me, I think it's good because then with that heading of 15, if a ball comes in and he's arriving late, if he heads that from the edge of the 18-yard box, you never know where it could go. Diving into tackles, however, I'm not overly a fan of, but overall, I think this guy's got really good feeling about him. He's on a big wage, 3,900 a week again, so you've got to take that into consideration. But all round, very happy with Damian Letalic. Marko Politanovic is an unknown midfielder. We've got the option to buy him for £500,000 from AA Ghent if we choose to do so. At 6'2", 22 years old, this guy's got a lot of room to grow in the midfield. Only time will tell whether he makes the grade in our team. He's got a lot of attributes that are kind of bordering on really good. If we could train him up, and we'll see how it goes. Really happy with that. Key stats probably decisions, leadership, and passing. With weaknesses probably positioning, stamina, and vision, which might look to improve over the season. We got him on loan until until the end of the year. So we've got a decision to make there as to whether we can afford to buy him or not, or whether we even want to buy him. But certainly looks like a decent prospect for us. And as I say, probably back up this season for Donald and Letalic in defensive midfield. But 4 under 21 caps for Serbia, no full caps yet, but future's bright for Politanovic. Now on to the attacking midfielders, and Serdan Plavsic. Now I'm sure that whoever in the comments will tell me that I've said that completely wrong. But anyway, he's a 20-year-old, exciting young talent. He's got a lot of high-end sort of the middle attributes, 14s and 13s, in both physical and mentals, which I'm really happy with. He's got a few in technicals as well, which is quite handy. I could see this guy's career really soaring here. Key stats for me: work rate, passing, and flair. Weaknesses that we can work on: finishing, decisions, and anticipation. If we work on them, I think this guy could be really, really good. Looking forward to seeing how he develops with our squad. I love this getting forward whenever possible, trying killer balls, cutting inside from the wings. I love all that. I think this guy's got so much to his game, and I'm really happy that we're going to get a chance. Only thing I'm slightly concerned about is the fact he's 8 stone 13. I mean, goodness sake, I think my blooming backside weighs about 8 stone 13. So I don't know how on earth he survives, but we'll see how it goes anyway. Next up is Andrea Lukovic. Now, this seems to be an average midfielder who, to be honest, will probably be moved on. No real standout stats. To me, he just doesn't feel like a Red Star player. He looks okay, but nothing really stand out special. And I think that if we're looking to win league and progress in Europe, I think that guys like this might have to be moved on. Just don't think he's quite got what it takes. Key stats though for him: pace, acceleration, and technique. Things that we could work on: teamwork, vision, and off the ball. Will it make a difference to his career? Possibly not, but we'll need to wait and see on that as time progresses. Bit of a change of pace now with David Babunski. I think that's what we'll go with. He's a Macedonian international attacking midfielder. Looks very gifted to me. Great first touch, great technique, great flair. All the kind of attributes that you want for an attacking midfielder. I really think this guy could be the real deal, and hopefully he will be ours for a long time to come. Key stats, obviously I've touched on already: first touch, technique, flair. I mean, those three, there's just no getting away from. Weaknesses: off the ball, strength, and decisions could be improved, but that's obviously something we can work on in training. 22 years old, I've got no doubt whatsoever this guy will be in our side for a long time to come. Guelor Kanga is a well-balanced Gabonese player, international 28 times already at the age of 25, which is half decent. Very aggressive in the tackle, which is something I really like. If you're going to have a player in there that's aggressive, goes in for the tackle, quite happy with that. Some very good technicals as well. So overall, quite happy with him. Key stats probably agility, off the ball, and passing. I did talk about aggression earlier as well, which is sort of it helps. It will help in my opinion. Weaknesses probably composure, strength, and anticipation. I just think that he needs a bit more in these areas. At 25, I'm not sure how much he can improve, but we'll certainly give him a try, and he'll be certainly a big part of the squad this year. On to the wingers now, and John Ruiz is the first up. Costa Rican winger, big wage, $7,000 a week. That's quite a lot, especially for our club. He's very pacey though, and got some very good technicals, and good mentals as well. Actually, come to think it, so he could be a star. He's 22 years old. Capped for Costa Rica once. Key stats probably dribbling off the ball and acceleration. Again, these will help him in his winger duty for us. Weaknesses that we really need to work on: vision, strength, and concentration. I just think we need to get him on the ball, and need to get him lining up passes, and we also need to get him a wee bit more switched on, because concentration at 11 is pretty poor. So overall, very happy with this guy, and hopefully he'll be first name on the team sheet every week. Pablo Mucci is an online Argentine winger. Maybe consider releasing him from his contract because, as you can see, he's on quite a big wage, and to be honest, he's not that much better than anyone that we've already got. Key stats for him: pace, determination, and flair. Weaknesses: balance, decisions, work rate, and that really annoys me, having low work rate. Or even medium work rate. That needs to be a lot higher. At 28, I don't think he's going to improve on that. So definitely one I'll consider releasing from his loan contract if I can. Slavoljub Simic, I don't know if I say Sunic. He's got excellent mentals in my opinion for a guy of 24. Could be a star for us in my opinion this year. 5'8", never going to be the most imposing attacking midfielder. But he more than makes up with that with a plethora of balanced attributes. No real standouts, but again, 24 years old, decent chance in the game, I feel. Key stats for me: pace, acceleration, and work rate. Weaknesses that we have to work on: positioning, teamwork, and strength. See if we can build them up a wee bit in these attributes over the course of the season. So, but overall, very impressed with this guy. Moving on to the front line now, and the first up is Hugo Vieira. The Portuguese striker has been around for a long time. He's got some really good stats in my opinion. No doubt he'll be a big part to play this year. Key stats for me are technique, finishing, and flair, all quite high. His only weaknesses I can see are positioning, natural fitness, and decisions. Decisions of 11 isn't good enough really for a 27-year-old. I think he should be a lot better than that. He's been around the game a long time, as you can see. 2004-5, he came through the Gil Vicente youth team, so you'd be expecting him to have gathered a lot of experience and mental attributes in these. So to have decisions of 11 is pretty poor. But overall, he'll probably be one of the starting strikers for us this year, so let's not beat him up too much before he's even started. Stefan Ilic is a young Serbian striker who, in my opinion, has a promising future with the club. I'm looking forward to seeing how a Ilic-Vieira partnership will work in the actual game. Key stats for me: teamwork, heading, and pace. No real standout attributes. Seems to be a common theme in this league, but decent attributes. Weaknesses: positioning, anticipation, and finishing of 11 really is poor. But hopefully, at 21 years old, he's got time to grow with that one. So he will be in the reckoning for a first team spot this season. On now to Predrag Sikovic, the veteran striker. To be honest, he'll be released as soon as I can get him released. I can't see him adding much to this side this year. He's 33 years old. not one for the future. Although he's got some decent attributes, I just think he's just not going to add much to the team at all. I really don't like some of his, certainly one of his, two of his player traits: dwells on ball and runs with ball rarely. I don't like that at all. These just really put me off as a player. His key stats though: heading, jumping, and strength. Just a big target man, 6'2". Weaknesses: acceleration, technique, and finishing of 12. Not the greatest. I mean, better than the last guy that we had, right off Sikimic, but I think that Illich. But I think Sikimic is just that little bit weak. Well, not weak in that way in strength, but just weak as in attributes wise. I don't think he'll last the season, to be perfectly honest. Now on to Petar Orlandic. The big Montenegrin, in my opinion, gives us something a bit different. I mean, all you need to do is look at his physicals. I mean, it's incredible. That's really different compared to all the other ones that we've seen. Gives us a good wee change of pace. If we need to get back into a game, we can throw long balls up to this guy with the knowledge that, 6'3", he's got a decent chance of winning it. Key stats for me: heading, jumping, and strength. His only weaknesses are positioning, anticipation, and work rate. Again, pretty poor, but these are things we can all work on in training, and hopefully if you can up that by a couple by the time he's 28, then that's fine. But yeah, big Montenegrin. He's got no caps as of yet, so pretty disappointing for him. But he's wearing the 99, so he better be blooming good. But that rounds up pretty much the first team squad. So next, what we'll do is in the next video, what we'll do is look at the reserve team. So hopefully you'll join me for that. Drop a like on the video if you like this series, and I'll see you guys in the very next video.